The Godfather film has introduced us to a variety of characters with different psychological profiles, but none stands out like Michael Corleone. The guy is the perfect representation of the darker aspects of human psychology. His life is a mix of missed opportunities, loneliness, and regrets that he can never recover from. What about his mind? Well, it's filled with ruthlessness without a trace of mercy. This begs the question, are his actions driven by his own will, or is there a darker force at play? Well, Michael Corleone's life is far from simple. His family name alone traces back to the 1920s under the leadership of Vito Corleone. During this period, the Corleone family was often compared to real-life crime syndicates, having cemented their reputation by assassinating Don Fanucci and taking control of Little Italy in Manhattan. However, that was only the beginning. After the murder, the family gained more than just fame. They gained power and influence that set the stage for the founding of the Genco Pura Olive Oil Company. This served as the foundation for both the legitimate front and the family's illicit activities. Given such a background, it was expected for Michael to end up in the family business. However, with the competitive nature of his two brothers, Sonny and Fredo, it seemed that he could only be a supportive character. But fate was on his side. He was surrounded by unworthy rivals for the successor seat. His brother Sonny was a hot-headed person, while Fredo lacked leadership qualities, making both of them unsuitable to ascend to the throne. This left Michael, whose reserved nature and strategic abilities positioned him as the successor to Vito's empire. Additionally, his initial detachment from the family's business, combined with his intelligence and composure, added to his already authentic nature, making him a unique fit in the Corleone family. However, his dad wasn't on good terms with such a dream. His love for his son was evident from the very beginning. Vito could envision his son becoming a prominent leader, not in the family business, but rather one pursuing a career in politics. He had recognized his son's intellectual and leadership capabilities early on and decided that Michael could take a different path from his own, a path that didn't involve the mafia. This dream seemed reachable at first, however, as time went on, we started seeing that the fruit didn't want to fall far from the tree. With the stimulation of Sonny's death and the inherent demands of the family, Michael started to be drawn into the family business. Now, you might be thinking that Michael's dreams were always around the family throne. However, you might be wrong. He had big dreams that steered clear of the family's criminal activities. He chose to pursue higher education at Dartmouth College and later go into the Marines. With only those facts, you could see Michael's future was meant to be great. Although he didn't achieve high ranks from the military, at least he had the Navy Cross Award for his bravery. However, that wasn't the only goodie that he gained from his training in the military. He also learned one or two things in managing and leading troops. Just as his career appeared to be on a smooth trajectory, Michael learns of his father's attempted assassination. The news hit him hard, marking a pivotal moment in his life when he was drawn into the family business to uncover the truth about his father's fate. The guy really cared about his father. He even went as far as moving him to a safer room while standing guard, marking his first significant step into the family's darker world. But that's not all. Following the attack on his father, Michael orchestrated the murder of Police Captain McCluskey and Drug Baron Salozzo, who were directly involved in the assassination attempt. This act of vengeance was a definitive crossover into mob life for Michael, abandoning his previous aspirations and accepting his role in the family's legacy of crime. His strategic acumen, honed in the military, was now fully aligned with Corleone's clandestine operations, setting the stage for his eventual rise as the family's new Don. Sounds interesting, right? But if that intrigued you, wait until you hear about his psychological profile. Michael Corleone exhibits quite a variety of narcissistic traits, often seen in his reserved and introverted demeanor. For instance, his well-groomed appearance and calculated speech indicate a high level of narcissism. Let's not even mention his soft nature that, when paired with his paranoid processing of reality, can bring about traits associated with narcissism. It's like he's always alone in his own world. He doesn't have any other source of contentment apart from his job. To make matters worse, he has no interests or hobbies outside his work. This lack of deeper emotional relationships and simplistic mental pattern of me good, you bad suggest a severe narcissistic and antisocial personality disorder. However, that's nothing compared to his Machiavellian tendencies. This guy's strategic and manipulative behaviors align closely with Machiavellianism. His actions throughout the film demonstrate a cynical view of others and a belief that the ends justify the means. Take a look at the techniques he uses, like impression management, for example. Michael presents himself as an accomplished person and further uses flattery to manipulate others, indicating high Machiavellian traits. His ability to deceive and manipulate for power and control, as described by Machiavelli in The Prince, underscores his complex psychological profile. Additionally, Michael's personality is highly seen in individuals with psychopathic tendencies. He displays traits typical of antisocial personality disorder, including a lack of empathy, deceitfulness, and a disregard for moral standards. His aggressive behaviors and his strategic use of violence to maintain control further suggest elements of psychopathy. His ability to compartmentalize his life, separating the violent aspects of his business from personal relationships, points to a deep-seated ability to disconnect emotionally from his actions. However, we can't solely attribute his dark psychology to these facts alone. His actions in the film also highly contribute to his complex psychology. For instance, Michael's decision to embrace mob life, particularly after the attack on his father, set a course that drastically altered his and his family's future. His choice to kill Sollozzo and the police captain not only entrenched him in the family business, but also set off a chain of events leading to further violence and betrayal. But it didn't stop there. The Baptism of Blood, where Michael orchestrated the elimination of his rivals during his godson's baptism, highlights a pivotal moment where he secured his family's power, but at great moral cost. This act symbolizes the point of no return, cementing his role as the new Don and pushing him deeper into the criminal world. To make matters worse, his decision to kill Fredo, driven by betrayal and a lack of forgiveness, illustrates his descent into a more ruthless persona, prioritizing power over familial bonds. This act not only isolated him within his own family, but also marked a significant departure from his father's more measured approach to handling enemies. In short, throughout his journey, Michael had moments where alternative choices could have led to a less tragic outcome. His initial resistance to join the family business and his military service presented a path that might have led to a legitimate and honorable life. Michael's interactions with Kay and his children offered opportunities for redemption and a shift towards legitimacy. His attempts to integrate into legitimate business sectors and his efforts to protect his family from his criminal life indicate his awareness of the potential for a different life path. The tragic end of Michael's story, marked by loneliness and regret, underscores the cumulative impact of his choices. Despite moments where he could have altered his course, his consistent choice of power over redemption led to irreversible consequences, leaving him isolated and haunted by his actions. There you have it, folks. We hope you loved and enjoyed the video. On your way out, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button for more videos like these. Till next time.